All right, guys. Well, it is call 4 of our 16-week course. And as you know, the last 3 weeks were about mindset and business. We went over a lot of different things. We had a lot of homework, guys. We talked a lot about relationships. We talked about a lot about relationships with ourselves, with each other. We talked a lot about what we actually want to do. We talked about a lot about defining kind of like our schedule and how to put things in place and what needs to go in specific places, and how our schedules actually look. We also talked a lot about our daily habits. We talked a lot about metrics. We talked a lot about money. We talked a lot about preparation and review and things like that. So Camelia and I thought that today would be a great day to go over everyone's homework, because even though this is a course, we're still all on this call to dive into your businesses and create better businesses for you. And the only way that we can do that is actually get intimate with you and talk to you about it. And that's a big part of Core4. A big part of Core4 is making sure that we create the value of business advice, and the best business advice that we can give you. So with that being said, Camelia, can you mute everybody for me? Sorry, I don't want to not hear everybody. I just can't put everybody on recording. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is Camelia and I both will call out you guys, see where you are in your homework, because you did have 3 weeks of homework. Jen, you're a little behind, so don't worry. Just pay attention. All of this stuff is recorded. However, I do know that you did listen to the other recordings, and it's kind of like a fire hose, right? You got fire hosed in. I get it, but we're still gonna talk to you a little bit today, okay? But I do want to start with Anthony and Forrest. So I want to talk to you guys. We want to see where you are. We want to see what you did for your homework. We want to see the outcome, and we want to know a little bit about where the business is right now, so that we can gain some clarity on the next step, right? Because the next step, we talk about finances, we talk about sales, we talk about marketing, but we got to have good foundations like we talked about, and good structure and good systems of your time, so that we can go to these next steps. So without further ado, unless Camelia has something else to say, I'm going to hand it over to you guys. Make sure that you're unmuted. And I'm going to mute myself and take notes. But Forrest and Anthony, go ahead, guys.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. So, bam! This is the revolution right here. So yeah, we made some binders. I appreciated Brian's advice on low tech, because I've tried to use different technical ways of doing calendars and doing my own schedule. And for some reason or another, when I write things down, I think for me, it just hits my subconscious a little bit deeper. And so what I wanted to do was go ahead and do that low tech option. So we did a binder. My mindset, my life, my business. When you open it up, there's some highlighters and different things. The first page is intentions with endpoint metrics. So we put our intentions for ourselves for 30 days, 3 months, and 6 months.
And what are they?
Things like, I want to, for myself, do yoga 3 times a week, for example, which I've started doing since we started doing this. Hit my strength training, basically the stuff that, I should be doing already, but has been pushed off to the side because I've been so focused on trying to climb out of the hole that I've put myself in, right? So meditate daily, which has been happening. I think I missed like 1 day, which is great. 3 months, looking for, to establish consistency. Also take a trip to Europe is on there. In 6 months, I want to buy a jacuzzi.
Cruising.
And a Volkswagen Vanagon. Or a family and relationships. Anthony and I made a plan to ourselves as like a challenge to get ourselves in a systematic way, get our instructors to be able to lead some of our presentations that we do when we bring in new boot campers, new clients, new moms, and things like that. So if we can systematize it and train them, and then our test, our litmus test for this is to go to Universal Studios with our families. And while we're in Universal Studios with our families, our business is generating an extra 5 to 8K a month just from us being away. That's our litmus test for this. So, we just did that for fun. Different business goals. We want the different legs of our business to be able to pull in a certain amount per month in the next 30 days, in the next 3 months, and in the next 6 months. So I outlined all that. Does that make sense?
So, no, yeah. It makes total sense. So what you've done is that part is the intention.
Yes, correct.
Have you broken down from the intentions?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Can I interrupt for just a second, because I want to do just a check on the intention.
Yeah.
As you said in your 3 months you wanted the jacuzzi and the Volkswagen, and then you mentioned the business finances and the numbers you wanted to generate within each. Did you incorporate your wants into the needs, or that the business needs to be generating?
Yeah, I did. I did keep that in mind. So, for example, we have some different legs of our business. One of them is the boot camp. One of them is the mindset training. And then one of them is the online fitness training.
Yeah. And
so the next 30 days, adding an extra 10K per month with each of those legs. And then I also have, within 3 months, 20K per month on each of those legs. And then 6 months, 30K per month on each of those legs. And then how many clients it would take per each one to get there.
Okay.
And then I put, work with 3 large companies, which one of them is Genentech. And so the combination of those factors, working that in.
All right, good. Because one of the most important things about these intentions is to make sure that they make sense, right?
Right.
And they're realistic. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So after that, if you open it up, it goes what I have today. But you were saying, like, how does the intentions break down was your question, Gary? So if I switch to objectives and actions, then I take the intention, I put it into an objective.
Yep.
From the objective, there's a list of actions.
Yep.
The list of actions, basically they're tasks by time. Okay. So each action takes a certain amount of time, whether it's maybe do a new blog post, 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is. So I take the chunks of time and I take them all, break it down all into actions. And then flip it over to this page where it has blocked off of the time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for the whole day, starting at 5 a.m. and going to like 11 o'clock. And so then I basically fill in all the things that are in my action area into the half an hour by half an hour blocks. And for the most part, it's helped a lot. There's some things that fall off track. Sometimes life changes in the middle of your planned day. And that's okay. I'm learning to run and gun with it and just be flexible. But at the same time, this framework has given me a lot back in terms of, keep making me more proactive, definitely helping with the subconscious. Like, it's already lined up. Now I just execute, instead of like feeling lost during my day, I'm feeling like I can get up and execute my day. And then I've been going in and doing the review at the end. Basically, I set each day up so that there's what do I have to do today? What's my imagination theater, the mental movie, what do I hear, see, and feel? Then I go into a review at the end of the day. Who are the 3 tasks or objectives or people that I, met with, and then I have a recognize here where I recognize certain people that I met with. So that's pretty much it so far.
Okay. So how's it been going the past week?
Past week's been going great. Like I said, been able to hit most of what I've set out to do. I would say at least 85, 90%. There's that 10 to 15 that got thrown off course. But I feel really good about it. And at the end, I can count my wins. And this is something that's interesting is like, you know, I reach the end of my day and I find that I'm not in that like bound nature state, even though I've got like a ton of shit on my plate and like things feel overwhelming. I'm not in the bound nature state at the end of my day where, you know, I typically was like, I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. So that definitely feels good. So, you know, being more productive and feeling good no matter what. So, and by feeling good, I can get more done and I stop defeating myself as much. So that's how that's been working out.
So are you still feeling real overwhelmed at the end of the day?
No, that's what I mean. At the end of the day, I don't feel overwhelmed at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, I feel really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Forrest, let's tie this all back to lesson number 1. Mm-hmm. How do your intentions and the book that you've established relate to your hero or who you want to be a hero to?
So the people that I want to be a hero to, I'm still, you know, I put up on the group page a couple of different ones. So I'm still kind of fine tuning that. And I wanted to get maybe your guys' advice and insight on that. I put a couple of different ones down because I have to be a hero to certain people that my business is established to, which is the person that is basically men and women ages, you know, 30 to or 20, ages 29 to 50 that are losing weight. And most of our clients that we've seen have failed again and again. So we're being a hero to the people that have failed over and over in fitness. Those are the people that are coming to us. And so we've been servicing those people. And that's our boot camp / weight loss / fitness realm that we work with.
Let me just ask you a question because you started off by saying, I have to be a hero to.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about the word have to.
Yeah, that's nothing to be concerned about, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. So that was what I was bringing up. Remember before I had talked about how like this kind of opens up a whole new world for me in terms of like, I'm still in the process of discovering what I really want because the fitness industry, I've been in weight loss for 15 years and weight loss was never my thing, but I've been doing it for 15 years. What's been my thing has been the inner transformation I see people go through as a result of getting in shape, as a result of the weight loss. So, and what I'm finding myself turning into my passion is this mindset training that we've been diving into and coaching people on that and getting the groups together, doing the coaching calls. I love it. It's great. So that's where my passion is evolving into. Now they do fit, you know, in terms of the fitness and the mindset. You know, I'm just trying to discover, Camellia, how it all fits and how to create the best possible message for everything that I do. So, you know, I'm still working on that.
Definitely have some ideas for that.
Okay.
Were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, but I want to hear what Anthony has to say as well.
Yeah, great.
Because I think knowing where the two of you are in terms of that will help develop a forward path. Yes.
And one of the things that Anthony and I both agree on is that online training seems to be a way that we can reach more people and that we feel passionate about helping people in that respect. But then we also have a brick and mortar facility and has a lot of potential in that respect. I mean, should we try to reach for the franchise model? You know, should we grow it that way? Because our whole goal is just to transform lives, people, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So what is the best way to do that? Or do we have to think of a best way? So yeah, that's my closing statement. Anthony, go for it.
Great. So am I answering the hero statement or do I just go back and then answer that later?
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay, at the beginning. So this is the booklet. And Forrest, he made this whole thing. Thank God. You could tell he did pretty good in school, right? Because I didn't even have a binder in school. had a 1.83 GPA in school. So, hey, this is awesome. This binder is amazing, and it's really helped me out a lot. And so my 30-day intentions for myself is to release 18 pounds in 30 days. I've effectively haven't ate for the last 15 days now, and I'm starving myself. So I'm just joking. I'm the cheesy guy, okay, guys? I'm cheesy, all right? So to lose 18 pounds, to get to 219, and then obviously I just have like weightlifting goals. So my bench press is to get to 375. And then 3 months is from now, buy a 5-bedroom house 3 months from now. And then be 208 pounds, 13% body fat.
Okay, let me stop you there. I love you. I'm just going to stop you, right?
Yep.
Just because I get a little stupid in my head and I'll forget. 5 months from now, you want to buy a 5-bedroom house, right?
3 months from now, yes.
3 months from now. Now, in reality, is that a reality?
I believe it can be, just with all the stuff that we have like in the oven. I believe it can. And just like with the corporations and everything that we're doing, it's not delusional. But maybe I'm reaching out a little too far.
It's okay to reach. I'm not I don't think that it's okay. And Camellia, interrupt me any time. It's totally fine to reach. I think that it's super important to reverse engineer, right? So what does that 5-bedroom house look like, right? Because do you guys live in Santa Monica, right? You live like around there, right?
Yeah. San Diego area.
San Diego, right? So it's not inexpensive there, right?
No.
So a 5-bedroom house is quite expensive. And if you're looking to buy a 5-bedroom house, there are certain numbers of metrics that go with that. And in reality, if you're not pulling in X amount of dollars today, right, then 3 months from now, if you're actually pulling in the dollars that need to go to buy that house, you won't actually have those dollars to spend on the house in 3 months. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Make the sale today, right? You may not have $300,000 to put down on the house if you have zero right now. I don't know if you have zero. I don't know if you have $295,000 if you need to put $300,000 down. I just want it to be a realistic goal for you.
Yes.
Okay? Because we can get you to a certain place, right? But there's also a reality of we're not getting rich quick. We're growing your business to be a specific thing.
Yes.
Sorry. I just wanted to be clear.
No, I agree. 100%.
So you also have metrics and whatnot for the business like Forrest did. Are yours and Forrest the same?
We didn't really go over it both together. They're somewhat the same. Like he was saying that the 30 days would be like 10K extra in those extra places. I actually put 15K instead of 10K. So 15K extra in all those places. So boot camp, the compass training, and the mindset training. And then in 3 months that we would be in Genentech, and then we would upgrade it at Gilead, the place that we're at now corporation-wise, and signed up with Coca-Cola, which is right down the road. And from there, in the boot camp, we'd have 600 signups in the next 3 months because we're doing a bunch of seminars. And we have like a whole process on all of our seminars, and we can always send that to you. And a reverse engineering on that. And then on the compass is getting everyone to sign up from there, from Genentech, Gilead, and Coca-Cola, and that would be 800 signups. So they
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So they have, like, for instance, Genentech has 500 people inside of their place. Coca-Cola, I don't know how much they have. And then Gilead has, I think, 300 or 250 people. So if we can get all of them to sign up in there, and then our mindset, by that time, have 300 signups in the mindset. And then 6 months down the road, we'd add FedEx and the USPS. That's by us.
Okay. So here's, this is a business course, right? So we're just going to be straight the fuck up, right? So you were rambling a lot about a lot of different things, which is awesome. I think it's great. Okay. You have a plan for all of that. You do?
Yes.
Every single thing.
Well, you know what?
Because
oh, I'm muted. Let's take it.
You just muted yourself.
We can hear you, Camelia. I can hear you.
I can't hear it.
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Now you can hear me.
Now I can hear you, yeah.
I had the stupid landscapers going on out there, and so I had to keep muting. The first thing that you two need to do is have a conversation.
You got to talk.
You have to have a conversation. Anthony, you are ready to conquer the world, and I have to tell you, I love you, but it's not going to happen like that. It is not going to happen like that. It just won't. All right? But you have a business partner, and in lesson number 1, what is the thing we talked about as being the most important thing you have to do when you have a business partner? You have to communicate. You have to talk to each other. You have to have a sit down and say, and this is weekly, it's monthly, it's quarterly, it's annually. It's an agenda-filled sit down that says, let's review the past week. Let's review the past month, quarter, and year. These are our numbers. This is what worked marketing-wise. This is what didn't work. This is our client numbers. This is what we lost. This is what all of those metrics need to be discussed on a weekly basis, reviewed monthly, quarterly, and annually. And then after you've reviewed, you discuss what our intentions are. All right? Are we still on track for the 30-day intentions that we set back when we had our annual meeting? And we said for the next 12 months, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to break it down each month. You have to communicate. If you guys don't communicate, you're never going to have anything built at all. It's just going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning.
We are communicating. Here's the thing. We communicate on a daily basis multiple times a day, and then we do weekly meetings. This here, you're seeing different numbers because we just set this up Thursday.
Okay.
And his job was to go and set his intentions. My job was to go set my intentions. Then we're going to meet and review, and then we're going to meet again. So, we are definitely communicating. That's not the question. But I think I like what you're saying is like have the number set and then do a review. Like, did we actually hit this? And if so, are we on track? Or are we just delusional in terms of like, what are we really doing? Or are we just talking about certain things and how are they really unfolding? So I think that piece.
It's awful, apparently. And
she's back.
Message.
Freaking stinks.
So
okay, go ahead.
I'm going to answer for her because I don't know if she heard everything. You guys need to meet weekly about those metrics. You guys have to understand who's in what lane of the business. If you have that, great. We want to see that.
Okay.
Right? That's important because you guys have so much potential near you, right? And around you, but we have to hone it in so we can structure it so that something comes out of it, something more than just an idea. And your booklets are amazing. They are. And I'm sure you guys chat throughout the day in passing too about a lot of business stuff, right? I used to do that too all of the time. It is the worst thing you can do, right? Of course you want to chat in passing, but you've got to have actual sit downs to actually go over numbers. You've got to do that.
I would like to make a suggestion for you guys, and that is to start from the beginning. And have you ever done an annual meeting?
No.
Okay. We're going to have an annual meeting. That's the first thing you're going to do. And
Once a year.
We're right in the middle of, July is the middle of the year. It's a perfect time to start, July to July.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are going to set your intention for the next 12 months. Start with the big rocks. What do we want to accomplish in the next year? All right, and then break it down into what needs to happen quarterly, what needs to happen monthly, what needs to happen weekly. But start with an annual idea, goal, intention. What do you want to see for the next year? That's your driver for the next 52 weeks of weekly meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So as you meet week 1, you review week 1, review week 2, review week 3, week 4, you review the whole entire month, which isn't that difficult because you've been on track for the weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's, your weekly meetings are probably a 60 to 2 hour meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Your monthly, more like half a day. Your
Okay.
quarterly is a get the hell out of town and sequester yourself in a hotel and review everything for the quarter and readjust what needs to be readjusted.
Mm-hmm.
And then annually again for another weekend.
Okay.
But you have to get into the rhythm to support those awesome books that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, the thing about the books is they're great, but if you don't have the higher level vision and plan, the books really, you're not driving on a road that has a map. You're
Mm-hmm.
driving on a road that's winding around as you're trying to find the direction that you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So start with an annual plan. And in that annual plan, you set the goal, you define what staffing do you need, you define what marketing do you need, just like you did, Forrest, you know it. You gotta this is the goal we want. This is what the revenue we want to achieve to hit that goal. We need this many sales, which means we need this many leads, which means we got to go get them. And this is how we're going to go get them, right? You verbalize that really well. So I know you understand that, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand together what you're doing.
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing to consider as you're doing this, and Anthony, I didn't get to hear it completely from you. Forrest, you want to do the mindset component. That's where you feel at peace. That's your driver. You love that. So as you're having that annual discussion, talk about ways that Forrest can drive mindset, right? That's your baby. That's what you want to do. That's what you love. You have a business that can support you being mindset. Let somebody else do the brick and mortar, right? You're still involved. You're still the owner, but you have a staff person in place that's maybe a general manager or something. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be juggling all of the balls.
Right.
So as you develop that annual vision and that annual plan, absolutely consider what your own heart speaks to as you develop the business to support what your heart speaks to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Gentlemen, having those hard questions with each other is vitally important. Vitally important. Sometimes when you ask those questions, they don't feel good to ask those questions. Mm-hmm. Ask them anyway, right? I mean, Camelia and I will tell you, we will sit down in a hotel and dish everything out, and then we'll have to change it the next day. Like, no joke, right? That's what fucking happens. That's how business works. However, we are very clear on what we want and what each other wants, and hold nothing back, because you don't want any resentment at all if one wants to do mindset and you don't want. But I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying be honest with each other and have that talk. Mm-hmm. And that's what this course is for, and that's why it's 16 weeks and not 4. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys? I think that's great homework for you for this upcoming week. I think, Camelia, next week we have to do another Q&A before we move on.
Well, we will, but we also have Eric, so we'll do the marketing Q&A and we'll do an update.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Guys, any other questions right now?
Do
a big thing for us then is just to get on the same page, what the whole vision looks like, and then breaking it down into some metrics that support that vision. Yeah, is that?
Yeah.
Am I pretty clear?
You're
on
pretty
that?
clear.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we're gonna work on. Thank you.
Does anybody have any comments, questions based
On there.
Yeah. No? Okay, you guys all right?
Okay, and we're here. Remember that. All right. Okay. I'd love to hear Miss Emma.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, so going back to lesson 1, my mum is my partner, so we're singing off the same hymn sheet, which is amazing. So with everything new that I want to do online, etc., my mum is fully supportive of that, and it will be for both of us. So I want to create an income for her too, to eventually move us out of the gym. So for the moment, she's taken on a few of my extra responsibilities at the gym for me to concentrate on this stuff. So we're cool there. I want to be a hero to people who are struggling to believe in themselves. I want to help people discover the greatness within themselves, help people discover their passion and purpose, and help them overcome their fears to achieve their goals. Going on to my skeleton schedule, that was hard, really hard. As you all know, I usually chase 100 rabbits and never catch one. So it was difficult for me, but I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. I've chosen to get up first earlier, an hour earlier in the morning, do some of my education and learning there, because I feel that's when I'm at my best, first thing in the morning. I've actually freed up a space during the day, which is quite quiet for me. It's usually between 12 and 2. So that's when I'm going to concentrate on my new business stuff. So everything that I need to do there, the homework with you guys, I've blocked off that 2 hours during the day. I do have a sick nan that I go and see during that time too, but obviously I'm juggling my time there. So fitting in the work that I have to do there. And actually not giving in to clients' demands where they want their appointments. I've actually taken a step back and said, no, I can't do it then. I need to put you elsewhere. Whereas previously I've had appointments scattered all over the place, which doesn't benefit me at all. And they'll phone and cancel or message me and cancel last minute, which obviously leaves me then, you know. Yeah, so I'm okay with my skeleton. I've fitted in my, metrics. I'm going on to metrics. In the next 90 days, I want to create my online program, which is a coaching program, mainly mindset. I want to have a 5K income from that within the 90 days. Within a year, I want us to step back from the gym, whether that is have somebody in there running it for us or somebody buying it off us. I'm not quite sure yet, and I don't think I'll know that until a few months. So, but that's the plan. My intentions. My intention is to set up an online coaching program, like I said, within the next 90 days. Pull away from the gym. So I'm taking a step back, as I've said, passing some things over to my mum. And I'm actually looking for another instructor to come along and take over just the silly bits that I don't want to do anymore, which I should have done a long time ago. Actually doing that at the moment. So hopefully within the next 30 days, I'll have somebody there. I also want to set up lifestyle retreats aimed at busy business women. I'm actually in the process of doing it, and I have I've become a joint venture with a really nice spa venue in Wales, which is an amazing venue. They love what I do, so I'm going to do a trial session there at the end of the month to see how that goes. So within 3 months, I want that set up to a whole weekend. Again, doing a lot of mindset stuff, but incorporating exercise, nutrition, and educating busy women on how to lead a healthy lifestyle. Women that think that it's impossible and time consuming and too much of a chore, I want to teach them how easy it can be. So my objectives are obviously creating everything to put these things together, and my actions are creating the content. I have a guy that's building a website for me and updating my current website, so sending all of the content over to him, get that up and running, get video testimonials from my current clients who I've changed their mindset, and get a bit of a video going on there so I can put that on my website, and sell it. That's what I have so far.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
This is all great stuff. I can tell you've put a lot of thought in it, and I love what you've done. But I'm going to kind of pick on you for what you didn't say.
Okay.
Something that I heard Brian say a whole bunch, and that is your work with the kids, the cancer kids.
Yeah.
You said that to me too the first time we talked.
I do want to do it, and I am going to do it, but it's not primarily what I want to do, only because it's very draining, it's very upsetting, it's very emotional. It's not something I want to be my main focus. I want to help, and I want it to be part of what I do, but my main focus needs to be more positive for me, really. I think the more time I've spent with it, and we've got 3 new children that we're helping recently, and it's great for me to step in but step back out. It's not something I want to be involved in 100%, and I've learned that over the last 4 weeks. So that's been a bit of a revelation for me.
I appreciate that.
Totally. Bravo to you.
Thank you. It was a big decision, but I think it's going to change the person I am if I give it 100% and forget everything else that I do. I enjoy the stuff that I do, and enjoy the women that I work with. I enjoy changing lives, and I enjoy that, but it's very, very emotional. It can be very negative, and I think it's something that I couldn't take on permanently.
Excellent. Are you confident that you have identified all of the tasks and action steps to develop your online program and generate that 5K income in 90 days?
Probably not. No, I have. And I was hoping you guys would give me some ideas on that.
Yes. So why don't you send over your list?
Yep.
And I'll take a look at it for you, and then we'll review it together.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. That's doable. That's definitely doable. 5K a month in an online program for 90 days, as long as you're consistently working tasks. And I've noticed already what you're doing very well is starting to build that Facebook presence, build that social media presence. So keep doing that. And in the 90 days,
I've created a private group as well. So the name is going to be Life Shaper. I've created a private group, and I post in there every day, and the only people in there are people I know suffer with anxiety, depression, and negativity, just generally have no self-confidence, etc. And it's going really well so far. So it's a private group, and I'm in there every day. I'm getting other people to communicate in there, so I get a huge amount of feedback. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I think that's great, and I think that's absolutely doable. You send those things over and just take a look at it, and I mean,
okay,
for sure,
cool,
for sure. And I do want to point out to everybody in the group that Emma asked herself that hard question, and that hard question, I bet that was not easy for you to come to grips with. That something like that is not a main priority, or is something that you want to do with the rest of your life, and how draining it is on you, because there's a lot of stories that can go along with that question. A lot of them. And
the guy that runs the charity has become a very good friend of mine, and he obviously believes in me massively and encourages me to take over when he leaves or when he retires. And it's just not, I see how negative he is, his negative posts. I've actually taken him on and taken him under my wing, because some of the things that he posts he shouldn't be doing, and I read it and it's all negative. been to the hospital, this child, and I'm like, you're this person that everybody looks up to. You're supposed to be the positive, happy one all of the time, and it's just wrecking him, you know? And I don't want to be in that position. I want to help as much as I can, but step out and still have my own sanity, I suppose, as well, you know?
Bravo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got chills. Good for you.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And in the relationship triad, you come first, right? And you took that to heart and you did it right.
Yeah, thank you.
Bravo, absolutely. Alrighty.
Cool.
Any questions, Emma, that you have specifically?
No, just as you said, just a little help with you know, have I got all of the actions put down? Is there anything else that you think I may need to cover? Maybe send you the links to my sites to see if there's anything you feel that I'm missing off there, etc. So if I get that over to you guys, that would be great.
Awesome.
Great.
You'll crush that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, Miss Sandy.
Howdy.
What's up?
Where do you want to start?
Let's start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning. Okay, let me go over to my beginning stuff. Core 4. Who do you want to be a hero to? Myself and people with health and life issues as a specialty, and just regular people that come to me with problems and want to change something in their life. I also came up with, I had the skeleton schedule, but I mean, even because of my hand, that's obviously changed a bit now. And I have different 6-word statements, which I've also been implementing in my videos as well. And I have gotten some responses. I get to a certain point and then people react and they're interested, but when you tell them, A, they have to do the work, and B, they have to pay money, then all of a sudden, well, it's not that bad. And, like, I think things will change all by themselves, so I push to a certain degree, and then it's like they don't want to go any further. So I'm like, okay, if you change your mind, I'm here, and, kind of leave it at that. But I think that's for another day. Let me see.
Hey, Sandy, whenever that happens, do you ever say to someone that whatever that obstacle is, that if they're living here in this space right here and they do nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Then they stay in that space.
Oh yeah, I wrote a whole post today on Facebook about people that get to the line, and then all of a sudden their fear jumps in and they get stuck in that place. And I posted it on my page today, and I'm like, it's not out of anger or anything else, but I just also, because I've had a couple of people be in that situation. And somebody just contacted me about 10 minutes before we were supposed to go into this meeting, and they wanted to chat with me. And I'm like, well, sorry, I can't do it now. I'm going into a meeting. If you want to drop me a message, I'll get back to you by tomorrow at the latest, kind of thing. So,
But in that objective time, when that person gives you the objective, do you explain that part to them at that time?
Yeah, definitely.
And what do they say after that?
They're like, well, I've changed some things in my life. I've moved to the country. I'm drinking less, so it should be less of a problem, kind of thing. And then I say, well, how is your life now? How would your life be without that? Is it worth it for you to stay in that? Because he has basically a phobia of being closed places, because he was locked up in like a dungeon when he was a kid, and he has recurring issues that happens in different scenarios. So, I discussed that with him, and I even went as far, because he was like, well, I told him about 12-week coaching, and he's like, well, I really only want to work on that in particular. And I said to him, as I said in my post, I said, there's other issues keeping that position in your life, keeping it in your life, basically. It's not just staying there out of its own accord. There's other emotions, there's other things that have kind of
Sandy,
stabilized.
I don't want to get into the weeds about specific things because we want to stay on track with what we need to cover for you. But I would not get discouraged if people don't respond to you immediately. They're not feeling the pain yet enough, and they're not seeing the value. So as long as, again, we talk about this all the time, you're consistently hitting the right buttons with them, you're consistently showing value as you are in your Facebook groups, when they are ready, right? When shit hits the fan, whatever it might be, and it will.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that has consistently shown them that value and spoken to them, maybe not like specifically, but through Facebook to them, they will respond. So just keep doing what you're doing on a consistent basis.
Yeah, right. No, I just wanted to say that's why I did the post that I posted this afternoon. But I also even said to him, I was like, well, you know, if you want, I can set up a special 6-week course for you, but it'll cost this much. And, you know, it was like, no, I'm not going for that.
He's not ready. He's not ready.
Yeah, so I can't do anything more than that. I think of you, Camelia. Camelia's always talking in my ear. Well, offer them an alternative. Okay, alternative. No go. Okay.
All right. Why don't you keep going now with your intentions?
Intentions. I have that in my MPA focus plan, as I call it. Generate interest, attendees, and sales for mindset coaching. Create captivating content on Facebook and Meetup. Announce budget course next week. Gain enough clients to get off of disability and make $50,000 in 8 months. My business name, I got settled. Connect to the driver for coaching others, which I basically came up with: passion, freedom, mentally, energy, and financially, the joy of watching other people grow and become their true selves. And my objectives is, well, the one thing that I wrote down, because I think that was the day before I did my arm up, was brainstorm over your path so that there's continuity, inspirational intuit, direction, and call to action. And I have actions, creating forms, which I did. Moving stuff around and creating an office space, and, you know, not just sitting in my comfortable chair doing everything, sitting at a table or a desk to do things, and that has a different impact on my state of mind and the duration that I can work on things. What was that? Yeah, just basically I have review, articulate, and discuss, which actually I hooked up with Emma because I figured can't hurt. We can make a team and we can throw things back at one another and share things or discuss things or what our thoughts are on various subjects and stuff like that. And I think that's been pretty beneficial for both of us. And basically that's it as far as, you know, objectives. I also set up my next day planner and my next week planner. I changed my inspiration statement, still needs a little bit of work. I also wrote out about 75-80% my imagination theater and recorded that today, but I noticed that there's still some things that need to be tweaked on that. So that's about where I'm at right now.
Okay, great. Are there any questions that you have specifically for what you've done so far?
Not really at the moment. I think I just have to keep on working everything. I mean, the one upside with my arm is I've actually, because I haven't been able to do other things, I've been reading a lot, so catching up on the reading of all my technical stuff, and also writing a lot more, you know, writing out the forms and the objective plan and sitting down and really reviewing things, you know, because at one point I was questioning myself, like, why do you really want to do this? You know what I mean? Is it really the thing to do, you know? And I mean, I talked about that with Emma as well, you know, like, you know, what's my rationale? I mean, you know, so then I got clear on that, which was great because that kind of freed me from that big question, you know, which was, you know, I was kind of not in doubt, but kind of Humpty Dumpty on the wall about, you know, am I going in the right direction? Am I able, you know, I also took steps regarding disability and contacting them, you know, about getting a green light and starting some kind of a business, etc. And, you know, that was also I did it, and basically I said to myself, no fear, you're taking responsibility for things, and I'm trying to do things properly and in the right order. So I mean, that also gives me some more freedom in my mind, not to feel like I'm being pulled back because of my current situation. So
you're ready to roll out your financial program next week?
Well, I was talking to Gary about it. I was talking to Gary about what I wanted to do and who I wanted to coach, et cetera, the other day. And then I'm thinking, gee, do those courses really make sense? I was talking about rolling out the budget course. Gary thought that they were still good, or I was thinking maybe the Carpe Diem is, because that's more multifunctional. Maybe that would be a better thing to roll out. I don't know.
Tell me again who you want to be a hero to?
To myself and to people with health and life issues.
And does the financial program fit into helping people with health and life issues?
No. But it was in your thing of being able to offer people an alternative for a lower price. Well, you said to be able to offer people multiple things and, have things at different prices. And, that was kind of like I said, I've come across people.
Whatever you're offering should always fuel your passion and fit within the framework of what you want to do. I mean, that was a great example there, right?
Yeah.
So, the offerings, and here we'll go into do we have time to go into a little marketing lesson really quickly? No, we don't. We'll do that with Eric. You're kind of confused in terms of when we talk about lower offerings and when we talk about opt-ins and free reports and things like that to collect a lead. All right. What you develop and what you want to roll out and generate your income with needs to fuel your passion.
Yeah.
Right? And if a financial system doesn't fuel your passion, then it's not the right thing for you to do. You're just adding a filler.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought that the Carpe Diem thing, even though there's a little bit of financial in there, that's okay because it's a mix up of a couple of different things.
Okay.
So I figured that was a better fit, more well-rounded, at least,
All right, Gary, you got something to say?
Think of relevancy. Like what's relevant to the people that you want to help.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a huge thing whenever you're creating a product or whenever you're starting a business. It's always relevancy because if you're Anthony and Forrest, you're not going to also have a lower end product that is selling chocolate chip cookies because it's not relevant to their market. Right? Does that make sense?
No, actually, I was going to comment that Forrest didn't put a snack in his book, and that might have been helpful for their meeting and get together.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. We are running out of time, and that sucks. These calls could last forever because there's so much stuff that we need to talk about. Are there any other questions that you have, Sandy?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Camille, you go ahead.
No, I was saying great because I want to hear from Jennifer.
I want to hear from Jen a little bit. I want to hear Jen. Welcome to the group. We kind of want to hear. So you've watched the 3 videos. Where are you now? And questions for us so that we can start really making a difference in your business and in your world.
Yeah, definitely. Great to be here. I'm just coming off of finishing 12 weeks of the Awaken Your Freedom program with Brian and Carrie. So one of the things that really stuck and I'm continuing to do that's the core for me right now is the Imagination Theater effort. And he shared with us what he shared, I think, in last week's call with you guys. The writing down the 3 to 5 things that you want to accomplish by the end of 2016 and then counting your wins at the end of the day. And he had us come up with one word that sort of summarized what our Imagination Theater really means to us. And that is the glue for me because my word is pumped. I mean, pumped is how I'm going to feel at the end of 2016 when I am successful at accountability and mindset coaching. And when my hip flexor is no longer in pain because I'm a tennis player and I sit way too much, so that's already improving. And when I'm just dialing back, as a fitness coach, really carving out time for my body, playing tennis better and stuff like that. But really is, if I achieve all that, man, I'm going to be feeling so pumped. So the thing that I've been working on, and my background is in marketing. So back when I started my company in 2009, I'm really like a brand positioning kind of person, and that was a brand bullseye. And I've taken other corporations through developing their brand. But a colleague and I had developed a more user-friendly way of developing a brand positioning, which kind of gets to, who you want to be a superhero to. And so I went back and I had updated mine earlier this year, and it was very focused towards the corporate clients that I've had over the years. But the tagline and the statement that I've been realizing is common across fitness, corporate, individuals, small business owners that I've worked with, is helping people do things better. And whatever that means. So kind of helping them to live a kick-ass life, to make more money, to be more productive, but helping them do things better and offering those tools. So I've been trying to figure out, like everyone on this call, I've got a jillion brilliant ideas that I come up with, and I start chasing the squirrels, and I start looking at, okay, do I want to, I love coaching the women at the gym. I mean, they are my fan club. I connect with them. I love helping, the people in the corporate positions. And I even took like sound bites that they've said to me, compliments that they've said, like, wow, you just make me feel so much smarter, your aha statements, or I look so good, I'm doing things I've never done before. So I tried to take those comments to say, clearly I'm hitting them, and if I get their sound bites back to me, there's something in there. But I have a lot of target ideas that I want to do. So I am trying to hone in on, you can't do everything. Where do you want to be? Corporate America has been where the dollars are coming from. I don't hate it, but I'd love to go back to, I told Camelia and Gary, both of you, about going back to my alma mater and starting to do some mindset coaching with some athletes, like the Smith College tennis team. And then we're in the process, my couple business colleagues and I want to do a women helping women business networking mastermind event here. So I've got like nuggets of awesome ideas, and I'm just sort of, trying to hone it all in. Schedule, I went through that process, scheduling and kind of doing a TikTok. My summer is going to get wacky. So I just got to stay doing what Brian and Carrie do every day, sort of replanning, because there's no consistency.
I wonder, Jennifer, if you're in the same place as Forrest and Anthony, where you're trying to develop a roadmap, but you don't know where you're going. So we need to start with the destination first, right? You've identified functions of people that you want to help. Consider how you can best help them, all right? And consider, is that what you want to ultimately do? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to help the women's networking, if you want to help the athletes, that's all great things you can do. Identify what the end result could potentially look like, and then let's develop the path to get there. Because right now you're trying to figure out a path, but you don't really know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know where you're going. I mean, the person that articulated where she's going the best on this call, and you should all take note, is Emma. She knew exactly, we want to do something, get this business in a place. I want online program generating 5K in 90 days. She has the end piece there, right? And so now we can develop the plan to get there. metrics have to be incorporated into that end piece so we can develop the plan to get there. So I'm going to suggest to you to do the same thing that Forrest and Anthony need to do. What is the end goal? What is it that you want to be in your life in 12 months? Do you not want corporate America anymore? Okay, great. Then we need to figure out how we're going to generate some other revenue. What are we generating that revenue for? Okay, you got kids to support, you got college, you got all kinds of things. What does it need to look like? What's that number?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we get there?
Yeah, I did come up with, from a metrics perspective, because I did back of the envelope financial analysis, because this year is much different than how my other years have been, where I've had more bigger ticket corporate clients, and I've had the gift of time this year of not being sucked into those consulting projects, so retooling. So, I think similar to Emma, if I could get 5 figures by the end of this year, not the 6 figures that I've had in the past, then I will have, if nothing else, just break even. I mean, this is kind of like a reset button is my analogy this year.
So the reset needs to be on how you're going to get there too. Really we need to know. What is it that you want to do? What is your passion? What fuels your heart to get there, to hit the metric?
Yeah, and that's a really hard question for me to answer, because I love helping people. I love connecting with people, and I'm always surprised, like from moms to corporate executives to athletes, and that's hard.
So you have the who you want to help, right? But isn't there a common thread in the how you want to help them?
Yeah, mindset, I think.
There you go. So the who doesn't matter. As long as you know the how, the who is, you just pick them out, right? But you got to understand the how.
Yeah.
Why? Obviously, we always talk about the why, but I think you've answered your why. You know what it is.
It feeds my soul. I mean,
what feeds your soul.
Yeah.
So there you go. We just did it for you.
Camelia just pulled it out of you. Like you said it the entire time that you're on the call, right? And it was a little painful for me to just sit here and not interrupt, but Camelia just pulled it out of you because you already know. And and I'm not a mindset expert at all, but I do listen to vocabulary and I have been in the game for a while. And corporate is where the dollars are at, you said, right?
They have been.
Yeah, they have been, right?
Doesn't mean that's the future.
And don't let that be the future. Because there are plenty of mindset coaches that Camelia and I coach too, where 5 figures is not in their ball game. Right? They make plenty of money. Plenty of it. Right? There's plenty of it out there.
Yeah.
As long as Camelia said, you know where you want to go.
Yeah. And I think Brian said something like, sometimes you have to purge in order to grow. And I took that to heart, and sometimes you have to pull oars out of the water. That was from, I think, the last call and stuff like that, because, corporate has been my safety net. But it's maybe not where I want to be focusing everything.
Is there some fear attached to you leaving corporate?
Oh shit, yes.
We need to be aware and accountable and adapt to that. Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm going through all kinds of anxiety and fear right now because of, the kind of year I'm having, sort of twiddling thumbs, waiting for, some projects to come in, investing in growth and education, which I love to do, talking myself off the ledge, reminding myself of my word pumped, to get myself refocused, to also, I wrote up on my board, today is all that matters. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. So, I'm such a natural sports psychologist as it is, because I eat that up. I always have, from playing tennis my entire life. So it's like I am my own personal mindset coach constantly to just stay focused and don't psych yourself out, for the love of God, because you've had wonderful successes. It's coming. I smell it. But it's like that bound nature stuff throughout the day. You're like, oh shit, And then you're like, calm down, tell nervous Nelly to leave, tell worrywart Wanda to get the hell out of here. It's going to be okay.
So the one word you said that struck me was waiting. You were waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't think you really know what you're waiting for. But if you take that leap to define what you want to build over the next 12 months, you will find the waiting is going away, because now you have a roadmap. We can build you the path. You don't have to wait for anything. But we have to know where you're going.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So don't wait to figure out where you're going. Have that figured out by the next call, and then we'll get you on the road.
Okay.
And I guarantee there will be no twiddling of thumbs.
Right. I don't like that.
All right.
All right, crew.
So next week, there is some additional homework that you all need to do. We want to know what your current marketing strategies look like, where you feel your gaps are, and what you would like to learn more about in terms of marketing. Jennifer, I don't think I told you this when I talked to you yesterday, but we've added a little bit of a twist to the marketing component, and that is that Eric Ruth is going to teach the marketing. He is my husband, but he's also one of the greatest marketing minds out there. So it's a real treat to have him on board. But he wants to do an exploratory session first before he presents the marketing, so the marketing is related exactly to what you guys need. So that's next week, as well as us going farther into what we all talked about today.
Okay.
Great.
I'm going to unmute all. Does anybody have any questions, final thoughts? Go ahead first, then you, Sandy.
I was just writing this down. What is your current marketing strategy? Where are your gaps? And then what was the third one?
What is it that you would like to know more about in terms of marketing?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Sandy.
What if you don't have a marketing strategy? I have no idea where.
Well, you do. Your marketing strategy is social media. You absolutely do have a marketing strategy.
Okay.
But
wasn't sure if that was enough,
Well, you can come to the call and learn a lot and get some ideas from things to do. But you absolutely have a marketing strategy, and you can really build upon that Facebook component and social media.
Make sure you come with your notebooks ready next week, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big day.
I don't know if I can write.
All right.
Okay, as you're working through things, any questions, any thoughts, any comments, post them in the board. If you have stuff you want us to review, post it in the board. And we will hop on it and get to it and respond to you guys. We're here for you, whatever you need.
And we are. And it's funny, and we'll leave really quickly. I had a conversation with another coaching client today, and he's like, no, but I don't want to bother you with certain stuff like this. Post it on the board so that we can see it. Like, if we need to see it, right? It's not a bother, right? It's just going to make your business better. Okay? Go ahead for it.
So I put a whole bunch of stuff on the board. If we want something specifically commented on, you just want me to tag you, Gary, or put some type of just say, hey, Gary, can you please comment on this one just to get your attention on it?
You can. I read them, but you most definitely can.
Okay, so I'll tag, because I have some things that I kind of wanted feedback on, so I'll just tag you on it. Thank you.
Okay, good job, everybody. That was a lot of hard work.
All right,
Thank you.
Have a great week.
All right.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.